My approach to writing the book was a lot different this time around than it was with the original graphic novel on Betty. I wanted to use, I guess, more stark storytelling. I wanted to use far less narrative. I wanted to convey her story with images because I think those are the most lasting things. I needed to get at who she was too, because people relate to that, real people, a real face, and bringing that light out in who she was, that kind of strength of character, that was really important to me. She was a young woman who grew up on Norway House. She was born in the 50s. She still had this drive to get her education because she wanted to become a teacher. Just one night, on a Friday night in November, in the Paw, it was really cold out, and she was just having a night like any other kid would have, you know, like at her age. And then the last person who saw her alive, a woman named Rebecca Ross, and she saw her early in the morning, like 2 in the morning maybe, and just waved to her and said, "Hey Betty," and I guess Betty didn't hear her, so she kept walking, and Rebecca kept walking, and that was the last kind person, friendly person to see her. And then just before she got to her street to go home to the place where she was boarding at, a car had driven up with 4 men in it who were spent the whole night partying, and so they stopped and asked her if she wanted to party with them, and they said, "We have wine, you know, let's go." And she said no, and so they ended up kidnapping her. So they brought her to the pump house, which was an area by Clearwater Lake where a lot of fishing took place, and there they ended up killing her. I still work with people who are friends with her now, and just still hearing about what a light she was is really nice, but also thinking about how I would have, you know, maybe I would have been working with her, you know, with her friends, because they're all in education too, is difficult, because you think, man, she would have been in her 60s now, and all the good she would have done. The whole point of this story is to let people know that, yeah, this is one person, and there are over 1,200 of them, right? Like, and so when we look at that number, you know, what I want people to realize is that it is an epidemic in this country. It's happening every day, you know, and something needs to be done about it. And from my perspective, what I can do is to try and bring awareness to the issue. People understand more, it affects them more, and they want to do more, right? And so that's why I wrote this book. And what I hope happens is that when people read about her story, that they want to do something. So from my perspective, what I want people to do with this story is to share it. You know, I think a lot comes of that. So if people buy this book, I don't care if they tell a friend to buy it too, or if they lend that friend the book, as long as the story is being shared, and then shared, and then shared. That sort of knowledge is important, right? Knowledge creates change.